is Valley News Live at 4.
Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Stacy Van Dyke. Big weather changes are on the way tonight, with some seeing precipitation and a whole lot of wind. Let's send it right over to Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson to see when and where it's all happening. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Stacy. As we head into the evening hours, things are deteriorating now out to the west and in portions of Canada. As we take a look right now at our home of economy camera in Devil's Lake, from time to time we're seeing a wet lens. There's some raindrops and some snowflakes here and there. Yes, rain as we close out the month of January is taking place. First alert weather day beginning tonight and into Tuesday. And here's what you need to know. First and foremost, we're not expecting boatloads of snow from this system, and the majority of it will fall in the northern portions of our valley into northwest Minnesota, where in the dark blue colors we'll see pockets of 4+ inches near the international border, but many of you seeing 1 to 4 inches. Here in the southern valley, a trace to 1 inch of snow. But that's not going to be the main concern with this. Will be the shovel trouble. It's going to be the wind that accompanies this storm. This evening, the snow, mixed precipitation and snow, is moving in with temperatures that remain fairly mild. We have a south wind right now. Overnight, the snow continues to push into northwest Minnesota, and that will continue to accumulate, but the gusts of wind will exceed 50 miles per hour and possibly over 60 miles per hour for some. That's going to make for very treacherous travel conditions. Lofted snow, blowing snow. We could have blizzard-like conditions in places as we go into the morning, and that lasts into at least the middle day hours. Mixed precipitation being reported here in central North Dakota right now, with rain at some stations being reported, with cold air behind this system working its way in. Right now, that rain pushing into western Stutsman County, New Rockford, Carrington, the Devil's Lake Basin. We're seeing some evidence that there's trying to generate some snowflakes in the atmosphere in southeast North Dakota. We have a winter storm warning for the valley. This is until 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Out to the east, winter weather advisories. Those trees help to block some of the wind, but you too will have some tricky travel conditions. Here in Fargo, the snow chances do not increase until about the 10 o'clock hour. Grand Forks, it'll be a little bit earlier because of the orientation of this system as well. Hour by hour details, Stacy, coming up here in just a few moments.
That's one way to start the week, keeping us on our toes. Thanks, Hutch. Hey, it's a good idea to keep that VNL weather app handy for forecast right at your fingertips. You can download and use it for free. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store. New information on a massive fire in Detroit Lakes over the weekend. Authorities are now saying that fire has turned deadly. Crews rushed to the apartment along Loring Avenue Saturday morning. Everyone inside the building was forced to evacuate. Eventually, firefighters got the flames under control and found a body in one unit. That victim is identified as 61-year-old Carrie Bishop of Detroit Lakes. Her body is now undergoing an autopsy at the Ramsey County Medical Examiner's office. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. It's 4 years behind bars for the woman accused of stabbing a man and 2 strangers before barricading herself in their vehicle for hours. 31-year-old Ashley Larson is charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault. It all happened this past May in the Mexican Village parking lot in downtown Fargo. Records show Larson first stabbed the man in an apartment, then walked to the restaurant parking lot and randomly stabbed 2 women multiple times. Larson now has to pay more than $1,000 in restitution to the victims. The North Dakota Crime Bureau is taking over the case involving assault claims against the mayor of Jamestown. Dwayne Heinrich says there's no truth to the allegations. He says he was approached by someone at a local bar over the weekend and things got a little heated, but he denies any wrongdoing. He believes the claims are retaliation for recent action taken by the city council. He says he'll not allow this to keep him from doing his job or running for re-election. He's been the mayor of Jamestown since 2018. Now, Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke with a woman who claims to be the assault victim. You can watch that full story tonight on Valley News Live at 6. Dilworth police need your help finding a suspected car prowler. Police say overnight this man was involved in multiple break-ins. You can see him here go up to 2 different vehicles, pull on the door handles, and then walk away. If you know anything about this incident, call police. A 65-year-old man is dead after police say he was kneeling on the side of the road and got hit by an SUV. That happened last night around 7:30 near Rock Lake in Towner County. Highway Patrol says Charles Hovenen was crouched down on his knees along Highway 281 when an oncoming car hit him. No one in the car was hurt. Troopers are working to find out why the man was kneeling on the road. Funeral services are set for North Dakota Attorney General Wayne Stengem, who died unexpectedly last week. Visitation is from 4 to 8 on Wednesday in Memorial Hall of the state capitol in Bismarck. The memorial service is at 11 on Thursday. You can watch the funeral live on KVLY or via live stream at valleynewslive.com. Stengem was 68. His cause of death has not been released. Governors from states across the country convened at the White House today, telling the president they're eager to move past the COVID crisis management stage. As Danya Backus reports, this comes as case counts drop nationwide, but deaths are still rising.
Your voice has been important.
Governors from more than half the states in the country met with President Biden at the White House Monday. Chair of the National Governors Association, Asa Hutchison, said state leaders want to move away from the pandemic.
We asked the president to help give us clear guidelines on how we can return to a greater state of normality.
A lot of good discussion about what does the road from pandemic to endemic look like and how do we keep score.
Nationwide, the number of daily COVID cases is on the decline, down by more than half since the peak of the Omicron surge. But some states are still seeing increases.
Right now, we still need to keep our heads down and stay at it to fight what is still, surging in parts of the country. But we do have the tools to get to a point where it does not disrupt our daily lives.
Health experts say the country should be in a much better place come spring.
I think toward the end of February and March, we'll have significantly lower numbers of cases in this country. And then hopefully in March, we could start to vaccinate the under 5 and our shoulders come down.
Novavax has applied for emergency use authorization of its COVID-19 vaccine in the U.S. And Moderna announced Monday that federal health regulators gave full approval to its 2-dose shot. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Johnson & Johnson has not yet applied for full approval of its single-dose COVID vaccine. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz wasn't in Washington with other governors because the state's legislative session got underway at noon today, and the governor will spend much of the session trying to agree on how to make use of the state's enormous $7.7 billion surplus and more than $1 billion in federal aid. Walz and Democrats want to use the funds on several programs, while Senate Republicans want to give that money back to Minnesotans in the form of permanent tax cuts. Both Republican and Democratic lawmakers have pointed to crime as a major issue this session, and it'll likely carry over as a campaign issue in November. More artists are now joining Neil Young in his Spotify protest. Joni Mitchell and Springsteen guitarist Nils Lofgren are the latest to pull their work from the streaming service. Spotify is adding a content advisory to podcasts that discuss COVID-19. The streaming service is under pressure because podcast host Joe Rogan has spread misleading information about vaccines. Spotify says it's built a COVID-19 hub for accurate information, and it's the first to publish content guidelines. Police in Washington state are warning about another social media challenge that's causing problems. It has kids kicking in doors at people's homes. Officers are obviously worried about how people might react, as some pranks may be met with lethal force. Multiple people are still recovering from injuries after being exposed to life-threatening levels of carbon monoxide in an Ohio hotel. Of those 13, 2 are in critical condition. Police say people reported having a burning sensation in their throats and dizziness. The hotel was evacuated. Authorities are trying to determine exactly how this happened. Tonight, the West Fargo School Board is hosting a workshop to discuss a number of issues that the district is facing. First on the agenda, school boundary adjustments. The conversation tonight is for students at Freedom, Independence, and New Elementary School. The second item is transportation. Starting today, 3 bus routes were suspended because of a lack of bus drivers. And that leads to the third topic, finding solutions to staffing shortages. This meeting is open to the public. It starts at 5:30 at the Lytle Education Center. Red River Market is celebrating local food this winter with a special Giving Hearts Day market. People can stock up on their favorite goods from local vendors. It's all happening this Saturday, February 5th, indoors at the Moorhead Center Mall. And it's not just about the food and products. They're also hoping to raise some money.
The money goes right back into the market to help provide free programming and our food security programs and live entertainment and all of that. So the money from any donation goes right back into the community of the market to help make it free and accessible for everyone.
While you shop, you can also enjoy live music by local artists. The winter market goes from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. This week, the Olympics start, and that means some programs you're used to seeing here on Valley News Live will be changing. Starting this Saturday, February 5th, up until Saturday, February 19th, you'll be able to watch the Ozone Show on KXJB with Valley News Team Sports Director Beth Houle and sports reporter Devin Fry. The Ozone will get you up to speed on everything happening that day at the Olympics. That means Wheel of Fortune will move to our CW channel from February 7th to the 11th and February 14th to the 18th in place of Valley News Live at 6:30. Valley News Live here at 4, 5, and 6 will remain the same throughout the Olympics. Still ahead, a look at the blizzard that slammed the Northeast over the weekend. We'll show you who got hit the hardest.
And while some may see blizzard conditions, we're not expecting nearly as much snow as our neighbors on the East Coast got. In fact, some mixed precipitation taking place right now. 1 to 3 for many, a little more for some. And then strong winds gusting over 45 miles per hour, and for some near 60 miles per hour will create dangerous travel conditions. Your forecast is next.